Hello everyone and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. This week we're going to stomach being awake a little bit longer before Shadowbringers to talk about the patch notes, the job guides, what people are liking, what people aren't liking, and then we're going to pass the fuck out. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm one of your hosts, Michael Mr. Happy Pogrom. Of course, joining me is Slyh, aka Slythefox, aka Slyh, aka Greyfox, aka you, my boy Blue. How you doing?
Sleepy.
Me too.
Yeah.
Dude, high fucking five, man. Let's go.
Woo!
Got it. Bam. He's not actually here. I clap my own hands. There you go.
Nice.
And we also brought on special guest, someone who has a lot of passion for what's about to be going on tomorrow with the launch of Shadowbringers. We've got on our boy Very _ Mary. Looking sexy, man.
Howdy. I'm a gunbreaker.
Yeah.
Look at me.
You could have said it in a way more convincing way than that, though.
I'm a gunbreaker.
There you go. Like I said, a lot of passion. A lot of passion. Sick cosplay.
Yeah, I mean, look at me. I'm great.
It's actually pretty well done Photoshop.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I hate how much I like it.
Or do you like how much you hate it?
That too.
Yeah.
It's better than the samurai one.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
How are we feeling, gentlemen?
Again, sleepy.
Excited.
Yeah, I was going to say, sleepy can't be the only emotion going through your head right now, dude.
I mean, I'm excited, yeah, but it's kind of like Christmas. You want to just go to fucking sleep so you can open your presents. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now.
It helps that the title of the stream is Twas the Night Before Shadowbringers.
I mean, it is like Christmas for us.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Well, you know what else is like Christmas comes early? You know how Christmas Eve you get to open that one gift? You know, you have that tradition on Christmas Eve? You get to open one and then the next day you open the rest. You guys get that tradition?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Our one early is the patch notes. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And we got preliminaries yesterday, and then we got full patch notes today. Which I was like, honestly, you could have just waited until the servers went down and released the full ones, in my opinion. But I'm not going to complain. It's cool, you know?
Yeah.
Slyh, I thought your camera broke for a second. Oh, maybe it did. That's a hell of a look. I thought it was just really focused. Definitely disconnected from the call, and that's going to screw with things. But that's fine. Yo, he's in shock. He read the patch notes. He's like, what did they do to Scholar? That's right.
Where's my energy drain?
When scholars see they don't have energy drain anymore. It's exactly Sly's face right now. There he goes.
Perfect.
Right. It's perfect. There you go. All right, well, Mary, for now until he reconnects to the call, which I don't know how long that's going to take. You've had time to go over the full patch notes. You've had time to go over the job guides this morning.
Yep.
All right, excellent. So, what are your first thoughts? Like, if you could summarize patch notes into as few words as possible.
It feels like a big expansion.
Okay, those certainly few words. Any particular reason for that?
Just like going into Stormblood, right? We had new stuff, but I felt like we didn't have an absolute ton of quality of life. But this time around, it just feels like there's so much stuff that is incredibly new and just like massive quality of life improvements that it just everything feels new and shiny.
They obviously mentioned they did a lot of quality of life here. Do you think that any of that is, intentional versus the previous expansion? Like, do you think that they probably had like a drastic shift in mentality for Shadowbringers versus Stormblood?
I think so. Especially with how hard they've been pushing marketing Shadowbringers. It's very clear they want this to be big.
There's been some crazy things in the last week or two.
Yeah.
They had the Tom Holland Hannibal Buress ad, which I thought was hilarious. We had
That was
2 anime ads for Japan, and the announcement of a new live-action show set in Eorzea came out today.
You know, billboards in Central Square. Like that's huge. That's a lot of money.
They're even sponsoring Summer Games Done Quick, even though
Yep. SGDQ.
there's no Final Fantasy games there. There's a bunch of Square games, but there's no Final Fantasy games in the lineup this week, which I thought was pretty funny. What else? I feel like I've seen them in even more places than we've named so far. I remember they sponsored PAX East, and I was watching the Borderlands panel, and it said sponsored by Shadowbringers, and I was like, interesting. Okay, I'm good with this. I'm good with that.
They were in some theaters before Avengers. They had the Shadowbringers trailer playing.
Well, considering they had Tom Holland and an ad, I guess that makes sense. You know, I'd fully expect that to be there come next week when the movie actually launches.
Yeah.
We had the Amazon Chocobo offer again, another Amazon thing for North America. Did you get your BBC?
Not yet.
Are you gonna get your BBC?
Yeah, of course. I'm a mount collector.
You gonna get that big black Chocobo?
Yep.
Yeah, you gonna get that big black Chocobo. I got my BBC. I literally, as soon as it went live, I bought a game time code, which apparently they ran out of stock for at some point. And got my within like a day. It took me a day to get the code. So fingers crossed. I don't know when the campaign even ends. Do you?
I have no idea.
Well, you better make sure you're gonna go get that BBC, man.
I'll be fine.
If you don't remember, you won't be.
Chat, when does it end?
Yeah, chat, help them out.
Help me
July
out.
1st?
Okay. I'll do it tomorrow or this weekend. We'll be good.
If you say so. Okay. Hello, aloha. All
Thank
right.
you, chat.
So with that, I guess I got so excited about Shadowbringers and Sly's disconnect, I got distracted. Shout out SteelSeries real quick, who is sponsoring all of our weekly shows. You guys know the drill with them. I always have discount codes for them. And we do a monthly giveaway. Apparently, I did host a giveaway for June, even though I didn't think I did. I will pull a winner for that off stream and send them a DM. But we are going to start another giveaway for them on July 2nd, which is the next show after this. And hopefully it'll be a good one. So thanks, SteelSeries, for sponsoring the show. And we'll shout out the Patreon sponsors later. I wonder what happened to Slyh, because now here's the thing.
Yeah.
Slyh disconnecting now is one thing, but it's wait. Slyh actually typed in the chat. Nets out, calling ISP. Just power cycle that shit. Call him, power cycle that shit. Get back.
Yeah.
Tate actually just had that issue yesterday. He
He did.
Yeah, he was panicking.
That's scary.
Yeah, he was panicking big time.
That's a scary time.
Oh yeah. Hopefully Tequila's in the chat like, please don't let it happen to us. I just flew out here from fucking Canada. Please don't let it happen. Better now than tomorrow, unless it goes into tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, then it'd be like someone said in chat, the nightmare before Shadowbringers.
But it'd be yeah, right now. But here's the thing, right now is the nightmare before Shadowbringers. That would be the nightmare during Shadowbringers.
That's true.
Tay was especially panicking because they said if this maintenance doesn't fix it, we'll send someone out on the 28th. And he's like,
excuse me?
that would have been bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, while we're waiting for him to either get his net back or not, I'll leave that box half empty because it just looks so. I don't know.
Yeah, I like it.
It's just.
It's like Shadowbringers. It's got that aesthetic.
No.
Don't look at me like that.
No, it doesn't. It's nothing that's. It's half working. Is that the analogy? Is that what a 90K looks like right there in podcast form? Essentially, it is. Yeah.
Oh.
He lost connection to the podcast. That's a 90K equivalent.
Oh.
All right. See. All right. So we've got patch notes and we've got job guides to go over. Mary, since you're the only other guest here, I'm going to ask you, which are you more interested in talking about?
Let's talk about the job guides first.
I had a feeling because when I read the preliminary notes and saw nothing there, I got through them a lot faster.
You know,
I think the job guide's really the big thing, because since the media tour, all the stuff is subject to change. This is now final. This is no longer needs a watermark, subject to change, oh, it'll be fixed by launch. Anything that's here is what we see, is what we get.
Yep.
So I want your most exciting thing on there and your least exciting thing in the job guides.
Okay. Most exciting. Definitely going to be all of the potency buffs for Gunbreaker.
Saw that one coming.
We got some big potency boosts, real nice, and the PvP in line with that for Gunbreaker. Their PvP toolkit looks so good. I'm real excited for that.
Okay. And what would you say is the thing you are least excited about in the job guide?
So I'm not a healer, but I think you know my answer.
It doesn't take a scholar to figure it out.
No, it doesn't. I'm sorry, scholars.
It's not like you did it.
Yeah, but I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, all of us at the media tour said we felt like Scholar could use some love.
Yeah, I mean, out of all three of them, it was definitely the one that was kind of like,
See, my biggest thing is I don't think any of the healers will be bad. I just don't think Scholar will be fun to play.
I would agree with that. I think Scholar will hang in there just fine, like as far as content goes. But when it comes to engagement and, keeping your interest peaked, I don't know if it's going to do so great.
I'm leveling. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm leveling Summoner to get Scholar to 80. They're still tied to Arcanist, so I'm 100% just doing Summoner instead of Scholar. I never thought I'd take that route, but I'm not doing it. I'm hoping that by the time I get to those jobs, it's been 2 weeks and there's been something.
Yeah.
Adjustment-wise.
The thing is, like, there's no way they don't do something because it's pretty universal.
Yeah. But White Mage, I'm going to have a lot of fun with White Mage. When I'm leveling, dude, the only real changes I saw for White Mage, all the baseline cures for all three of the healers got changed to 1.5 seconds for their cast times, but a size is 5% MP instead of 10%. Ooh. Oh no! Now I'll end every fight with 3/4 of my MP instead of 9/10. Whatever will I fucking do? It's still gonna be ridiculous. It doesn't even matter to me. I'm just gonna be I will channel the emotions of the other two healers in the form of misery, and it will be my foul. I couldn't have asked for something better. Because it still have Holy, still have a size, and I got misery. Yeah. It's perfect. It's perfect for me.
Yeah.
My high point, most certainly, gonna be my Dancy boy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember the discussion we had about Dancer, but I said there was one major thing I'd like to see changed about Dancer. Mm-hmm. And they changed it. They actually did exactly the change I wanted them to.
Yeah.
And even
and what's
took
that?
it a little bit further. So for the Dancer opener before, Flourish, Technical Step, and what is now Devilment, which was Saber Dance back in the time. That was the only thing I didn't like. They swapped the names between Saber Dance and Devilment. So Devilment is the 20% crit direct hit buff, and Saber Dance is the off. It makes sense. It totally makes sense. But it fucks with my brain when I'm trying to explain this shit.
Yeah.
So they swapped those names, but they were all 15 seconds before technical Devilment and Flourish. Mm-hmm. I said Flourish needed to be 18 seconds. They actually made Flourish, Technical, and Devilment all 20 seconds.
Ooh.
So what that means for Dancer, in terms of fitting all their attacks within a buff window, is it's now possible. There was always going to be a sacrifice with the way it was before. Because if you flourished before Technical Step to make sure you didn't have to make sure that you could actually benefit your whole flourish from Devilment, you basically had to give up Devilment for Technical Step, and if you ever got a Saber Dance proc, like enough Esprit, you'd lose a Flourish GCD. You just have to give it up entirely. Yeah. But if you did it the other way around, where you devilmented before the technical step, you wouldn't get to benefit from all of the flourish GCDs under devilment.
Yeah.
Neither of those things can happen now. You can fit a full flourish. You can fit, I think, 2 extra saber dances at most. If you get a third one, then who cares? It's a potency increase anyway. Mm-hmm. It's better. It's better for the flow of the job during an opener.
Yay, job design.
Yeah. So they also did nerf devilment. It's now 20% crit direct instead of 30%. And they took like 50 potency off of every weapon skill.
Which was a little needed. They were kind of top heavy, a little loaded.
Yeah, it also makes your decision making during burst windows a little bit more linear. There was a question before it, because before, depending on the GCD, if you were to get a flourish GCD, a fan dance 1, and a fan dance 3, it would be an increase over using saber dance, but only if you got all those things. Now a saber dance is always better.
Yeah.
So it's the job's fixed before it even came out, and it wasn't even that bad before. So everything about Dancer, even if I think they effectively lost, I think somebody calculated like 7% of their total DPS from before or something like that, they fixed its actual design. So now if they ever want to adjust anything, they literally just need to touch potencies again if they want to. So that was a mega high point for me. My low point,
I wonder.
There's no consolation in this. Yeah, it's Scholar.
Yeah.
I just don't think it'll be fun. I
mean, you're right. They gutted it.
Well, people are saying Astro's off like way worse technically, like in terms of performance, but I'm not worried about how it'll feel. Scholar, I'm legit worried about how it will feel. It just won't feel fun. I don't know. That's it. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's the most important thing too, right? Like a job can perform well enough, but if it's not fun, what's the point? You're just doing it for the sake of doing it. Like, I don't know. The amount of people who are just completely displeased with it it's almost overwhelming. Like it's almost universal. I don't think I've seen a single person like, yeah, Scholar. It's mostly just, what is this?
What? I don't know what this is.
So,
and you know what? They kind of started Stormblood in the same boat, and that turned around pretty quick. So I'm fingers crossed kind of guy, but in its current form.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely. I remember White Mages before Stormblood.
Yeah, and then it came out, and everyone's like, "Oh, never mind. This is fine. It's dumb, but it's fine." Like, it's like Lilies are still stupid. Plenary was still stupid. Confession stacks are, but it worked. It just wasn't smart, I suppose. Yeah. So now we've got a bunch of other jobs. Those were our favorites and our least favorites, but that's only 3 out of the 17. Sorry, BMH. Paladin Warrior. Yeah, I had to go there. Hey, they got mentioned twice. In the patch notes.
They did.
It doesn't matter at all, but they got mentioned. Paladin Warrior Dark Knight. I looked through these and I felt a little bit better than I did when I left the media tour, I suppose. There's a few like potency adjustments here and there and effect adjustments and balances that made me feel a little bit better about, I guess, the tanks overall. You already mentioned Gunbreaker, Superbolide 6 minutes, or Superbolide, as I've been told a million times at this point.
Oh.
Yeah, of course.
I thought it was Super Bowl line. Yeah, whatever.
I like the way it sounds better. A Superbolide or Super Bowl line. Bolide sounds shitty. Super Bowling. Yeah, there you go. We've got Request Cats, Super Bowling. When you got 1 pin left, that's what Super Bowling is.
They did one thing in particular that made me incredibly happy, and that was they nerfed Holmgang.
Well, that depends on the context it's being viewed in, because I've seen a lot of people go back and forth about whether that's a buff or a nerf. So let's break down what it actually did.
Yeah.
So for those of you who may not be too familiar with Holmgang or with tanking, or you're new to the game, whatever the reason may be, Holmgang is what we call the tank super cooldown for Warrior, where it's basically your death-defying ability.
Yep.
Now, in the past, it was a bind on you and the target. The target was never bound. You never used it on shit that could actually be bound.
Yeah.
It would prevent you from falling below 1 HP for 6 seconds on a 3-minute cooldown. Now, it is a 4-minute cooldown.
Yes.
But does not require a target. Thus, you are not bound in place.
Yeah. It's like a buff nerf. They nerfed what is arguably the most important part of Holmgang and what made it so overwhelmingly powerful, which was its really short cooldown, which I'm really happy about because it was just so stupid. And it allowed for so much cheese. And just bumping it up by a minute alone is going to cut off an entire use of it. So,
yeah. So that's the biggest nerf is in fights where there's now going to be fights where you basically are losing a Holmgang versus what you would have had before. Mm-hmm. Then there's also the consideration of the number of places it's usable. If there's ever a part of a fight where a target is unavailable, you can still target an enemy with it to bind them if you really want to.
And they can be bound, but that doesn't happen in raiding anyway. So
yeah, you never need it. It just says when a target is selected, they will be bound. But you almost never use it on things that it works on, so you really don't need to even think about that. But on fights with like intermissions where there's no targets available, but there's still tank mechanics, it now is actually usable in those scenarios. So like Brute Justice's intermission. There's quite a few tank busters there. Obviously old content, but at least a reasonable place to compare it to, I feel, at the very least.
No, definitely.
I feel like there's another situation I'm thinking of, something more recent that I should know, but it's just not coming to mind. I'm sure someone will tell me a phase, like a UCOB phase or something, where there's like a tank hit or something. Suppression in Uwu.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neo Exdeath I was thinking of. I couldn't remember if Neo Exdeath has a point where he's untargetable but uses that like tank knockback. I couldn't remember if he was targetable or not during that.
You can target him, but you have to run away from him, so you can't home gang.
Okay. All right. Yeah. There you go. And it breaks home gang anyway. So but either way, yeah. But even it doesn't matter. As long as it was targetable, he would have been fine regardless. Tornado and Shadownook is another time. Paladins and Dark Knights could do that. Warriors literally couldn't do the tornado in Shadownook. So yeah, there's plenty of times where now all of a sudden Warrior is viable to use it super cooldown. So it seems like a really fair trade-off. A nerf to certain situations, but super fair.
They made it better across the board because it was too powerful with its short cooldown, and now it's more viable. So it's balanced on both ends.
Yeah. I think chat's been saying Living Dead is still the worst one. I guess the idea of not needing to touch that tank for like up to 18 seconds, I think, is usually the safety window people give, versus the 8 seconds of Superbolide. I don't know if that has any relevance, the 5 minutes versus the 6 minutes versus how long the actual immunity window could technically be.
See, some people like to use that, the extra 10 seconds because it's 10 seconds pre-death, and then I think, 10 seconds after death? Yeah. And the idea is like people like to use that 10 seconds before death as like an extension of the cooldown. But ultimately, I mean, if you're alive, you're not dead, so you don't need the cooldown. Like, yeah, it's a little bit of a buffer if you expect something to be coming, but the only thing that ever matters anyways is the last HP. So, it's just not that great.
If you're alive, you're not dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I also think another thing that a lot of people have taken into account, I don't know how effective this will really be in terms of balancing out Superbolide, but the fact that Gunbreaker does have Aurora is somewhat under consideration, which is more powerful than most of the heals available to the other jobs. You have Brutal Shell as well, but
yeah, it's negligible.
It's not like you're not going to need a heal after you pop Superbolide, I guess is the point. You just maybe don't need a Benediction.
Yeah,
most people probably still use Benediction, let's be real.
Yeah. So, but if it's not up, just like an OGCD heal or something to top you up a little bit,
Yeah. Also, Warrior got some potency buffs.
Like it needed them.
Fell Cleave is 590 and Inner Chaos is 920, up from 800 for Inner Chaos.
that's so much potency.
Yeah, but you're not complaining.
I mean, no, but I'm not a warrior main anymore. So that means I'm against them. That's how this works.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
No, I mean, it's...
Inner Chaos was 900. It only went up to 920. It only got a 20 potency change. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, warrior, I think, is going to be in a fantastic spot.
Yeah.
Looking nice.
I still think Paladin's looking the nicest.
Oh, for sure. Paladin's spicy. Paladin was nice in Stormblood, and they made it even better.
Yeah, it's spicy is certainly a term I would use to describe Paladin. It's so easy to understand and yet performs so well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking through it again, and I'm just like, I see the rotation in my head instantly, and it's great.
Yeah.
We get all this. We get the 1200 potency confetti after the request cat. It's great.
Still got wings. Gunbreaker was kind of like inching in there a little bit with Heart of Light being 15% DR raid wide, but now it's
magic.
10% magic. Yeah.
Which we suspected was kind of going to change.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot more versatile than wings because wings are stationary, whereas Heart of Light's just on the group. But
I looked over Dark Knight again, and I don't know why, but I suddenly feel like I'm going to enjoy playing Dark Knight a little more than when I actually played it. I think I kind of just stepped back and looked at everything a little bit more.
I like Dark Knight at the event, personally. I've always been kind of stoked for it.
I know a lot of people are concerned about Delirium being not in a release, basically. In quotes. I don't know that I necessarily... I mean, because all of them have this, like, strength window in terms of, like... it's just that this one is literally... It's not exactly like in a release, but it is it's more relatable to it than Request Cat or No Mercy or any of those, But I look at this... I get that it's not direct crit, but getting the 500-600 potency Blood Spillers and getting MP back from those for Edge or Flood of Shadow, the Blood Spillers are the Quietuses, plus in single target you do Edge of Shadow. It's a lot. There's a lot going on there if you're getting the kind of MP generation I think you're getting.
Yeah, I mean, if you have Blood Weapon up and you're spamming those Quietuses on top of, your AoE, I think Flood is the AoE one, or is it Edge? I don't know.
Flood's the AoE one, yeah.
Flood, yeah. So, spamming Quietuses with Blood Weapon and spamming Floods in between, like, there's going to be some pretty wild AoE rotation for Dark Knight.
I mean, it looks like during... I guess it depends on how much MP you get back. You probably get back, 1250 MP per Blood Spiller, I'd imagine, during Delirium.
Like that.
Yeah, so I'm guessing you could almost do 5 edges during that. If you were at full MP, you could do almost 5 edges, and that's not including... what's it called? Blood Weapon, I suppose. Mm-hmm. If you had Blood Weapon up at the same time. That's intense.
And then, I mean, Dark Knight just, it looks cool. Like, even if you don't necessarily, vibe with, say, its rotation, just the aesthetic and, like, the class or the job fantasy for Dark Knight looks incredible.
So we're seeing 1,000 during Delirium and 600 during Blood Weapon. 1250 was just a guess. So getting the real numbers here is certainly a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I'm wondering how many edges you could theoretically get out during a Blood Spiller during a Delirium window. And hopefully, I don't know. I think it's gonna be fun. I will say Salted Earth. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with Salted Earth. I don't think that survives much more than a patch.
What about it?
It's fucking 90-second cooldown for a 15-second duration at 60 potency for 5. Like, what? It's like 300 potency once every a minute and a half. Like, what the hell is that?
It was kind of like Sonic Break with Gunbreaker at the media tour. I was like, what the hell is this? It fixed the hell out of that, by the way.
Yeah, but then Salted Earth is,
is 90 bad.
Seconds. Yeah. There's no way that survives very long. Because that almost just feels like a mistake incarnate.
It should just be, honestly, similar to Sonic Break. It's basically the same thing, right?
Well, except this one's not on the GCD. This one's off GCD.
Well, someone was telling me that they took Sonic Break off the GCD.
If it's a weapon skill, they didn't. I'll tell you that much. Sonic Break, weapon skill. Weapon skill does, yeah, it is on the GCD, so whoever...
Okay.
They might have been mixing it up with Bioshock, which
Probably.
is a 60-second dot, you know.
Yeah.
No, Sonic Break is most certainly
Okay.
on the GCD.
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't gone back to check after someone told me. So, there you go.
There you go, indeed. Skipping past the healers, because I think we made our point pretty concisely on healers.
Yeah.
Melee DPS, there's certain things about melee DPS that I'm still a little...
Yeah, it feels like almost every job kind of has a little something that's like, maybe not so much Dragoon, but...
No, Dragoon, we found something earlier that was pretty surprising. I guess I'll start there. Their AoE combo doesn't extend the buff from Disembowel. So they still have to stop and do Disembowel if they want that 10% damage, whereas with the other ones, it's a little bit more streamlined. Yeah, no buff refresh on the AoE. I mean, I suspect that's not a super hard thing to fix, but I'm surprised. They seem to be pretty good about dealing with it with the other jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I suspect they'll probably change that. I imagine that does not stay the way it does. Monk, I really want PB to not be that duration, or to not be that cooldown, not 2 minutes. Please go back down to 1, for the love of God. Six-Sided Sword and Notman, I think both need changes as well. Because you can't tornado kick into a Notman because it requires Grease Lightning stacks based on the chart. So that, I've been saying, is probably going to need changes. And Six-Sided Star, it's just like, I still don't like it. I just don't like it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just kind of weird.
I'm sure someone who's like really sits down with it, experiments with it, is gonna find a way to make it make sense. I still am not gonna be a fan of it, personally.
It just feels so disjointed.
Yes.
Like it's just kind of there and you just gotta like shove it in. But Monk's all about flow and not just shoving things in, right?
Mary?
What?
It was a poor choice of words.
Listen. Okay?
Oh, I was listening.
Why you gotta play me like that?
Oh, I don't play Monk anymore, otherwise apparently I'd be shoving it in.
There you go. There you go, Monks.
Like the first episode of season 5 of Black Mirror on Netflix.
I don't get that reference.
You trust me, if you did, you'd understand it tenfold more than you needed to. Alright.
Anyways.
Moving on. Ninjas, for the most part, ninjas, whatever, it's still got trick attack, so that's all it needs.
Yep.
A couple things did change, though. One is that Bunshin's Ninki generation was nerfed from our Mediator experience. The Shadow used to generate the same amount of Ninki. Now it only generates 4.
That's fair. It's really powerful.
And Meisui is still stupid. I don't know what else to say. Suiton got a 30 potency buff. Fuma's still 280. And the Hyotan ability got a potency buff as well. The Hyosho Ranryu.
Yeah, the little gap closer.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not a gap closer. It only looked like a gap closer in the job trailer because he used Shikuchi at the same time.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's I know, it was really confusing. I thought the same thing because I was like, wow, that's so cool.
I haven't looked too much into Ninja, so I thought that was okay. Well,
yeah. I don't know, dude. I still feel really weird that they got rid of Hagakure on Samurai. And
Samurai's
and Meisui is, or however the fuck it's pronounced, I don't really care, is still taking away them Suitons. I don't know. I get that it's like you have Tenchi Jin Suitons and you have your regular ones. It's like, why? Like, just did it need to? Did you not have just done that? Did you have to try to force an extra Suiton every minute, or because it's 60 seconds, but Tenchi Jin's 100 seconds. It can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I think it'll work out fine. I think the Galaxy Brain ninja shit that I've seen. By the way, if you do a 13th GCD trick attack, I don't want to play with you. There's a greedy ninja opener that waits till the 13th GCD to do trick attack.
That's insane. That's terrible. No.
You're gonna make enemies.
Yeah, a lot of them. That's so long. Everyone's openers are done.
Unless you're being padded, then go right ahead.
There you go.
If you're being padded, go right ahead for that. Oh, man. Yeah, and it's just not even used on cooldowns. They're just going to sit there for like 40 fucking seconds every time. I don't know. I feel like that could be done better. What are you saying about Samurai?
Oh, yeah, Samurai. What's it called? The new... Yeah.
What about it?
It's just, it feels kind of pointless.
It's just more points. You know how many samurais I see during like downtime periods? They just jump around like dickheads instead of meditating. Yeah. Well, now they're worse. They're even worse than they were before.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like, what about fights where there's not a lot of downtime and you don't have time to meditate? Then you have an entire ability that's just pointless.
Welcome. I played Monk for how many years? You want to talk to me about that?
Listen, they should be moving away from that.
It took till now for 1-0 punch to get removed. I'd like to remind you.
That's true.
I'd like to point you to the long list of actions that no longer exist that have been useless for you. No, I totally understand that. Because Monks had to deal with this for years, where we get like lots of skills that are for very specific situations.
Yeah.
And this is clearly for a very specific situation. But in those situations, it's better.
It is.
It's better. Because a fully charged meditation is already... What if they just make way more opportunities?
I mean, if they do that, then yeah, it'll be great. But it'll just feel bad on fights that don't allow for it. Because you'll want to do it, but you can't. And you'll feel good.
Then they'll feel good. I mean, I guess you could try to do what Monks are saying for a Notman, where you try to time it with a server tick so you instantly get a meditation stack in between the GCD. Have fucking like fun doing that.
Brain. Yeah, that's Galaxy Brain.
That's way too fucking Galaxy Brain, man.
Hyper alternate universe brain.
I'm not trying to do that. It's like I'm not about that life. Okay. But then I mean I look at all the other samurai stuff and I'm like, dude, they'll just do it better.
I just wish they didn't get rid of Hagakure.
What? Why not?
Hagakure was cool.
No, it wasn't.
I liked it.
Iki Shoten is Hagakure with less bullshit.
But I like the bullshit. I like pressing the buttons.
You'll still press this button.
It's just buttons.
You just now you get more Madares. Instead of a Madare being sacrificed for some Sen, now you'll get more Madares.
Yeah, but you could sacrifice the Madare and get a bunch of buttons to press, and it was cool.
You'll still get to press all the buttons.
But you get to press less buttons. Maybe like 3 less buttons.
Mary. Listen, the only thing that doesn't make sense to me on Samurai is Tsubame Geishi Higanbana. Why even bother? It's actually been mathed out. There's like almost no scenario at all where you'd ever, even if there were 2 targets available, it'd still be worse to Tsubame Geishi Higanbana and fully apply the dot on 2 targets than it would be to just go to the Madara.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only one where it's like meh. But the rest, I'm like, yo, they're just gonna do bigger dick DPS. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, they just kind of doubled down on Samurai's identity, damage.
All them damage. Honestly, the biggest change for me that I like about Samurai is the AI Jutsu reduced cast time at level 74.
Yeah, that's cool.
1.3 seconds instead of what is it, 1.8 right now? I think
something like that.
Safely weave an extra button after the AI Jutsu. They also got, increased 3% increased damage and 2% faster haste from their level 78 trait as well. So it's just, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good news.
Yeah.
Then we got physical ranged. There's a lot of question marks here. We already went over Dancer. I'm really pleased with that. Bard, people just kind of don't really know yet how to feel, I think. It's worth mentioning that Nature's Min and Mantra for Monk both got massive buffs.
Oh, yeah.
They both now work on all healing actions, not just healing magic.
Second wind.
Second wind, I mean, Indoms and Eloquiums and anything. Anything, except for potions, I guess. If you're going to pop an X potion for whatever reason.
Who does that?
I don't think people do that. I don't think people, unless it's Palace of the Dead or Heaven on High, I don't think people do that.
Yeah.
And then they still have, they still have Battle Voice, which still doesn't affect the Bard, to be fair. They've got their Troubadour, Nature's Min. I feel like I'm missing one that's native to their job, but I can't remember it. And Wander's Pain, the enfeeblement barrier one.
Yeah.
But people are just kind of hoping that the damage is a good bit higher because they don't have the crit percentage anymore. They lost a few other functionalities in there, especially with roll actions. No refresh, no Tactician. I mean, Tactician's there. It's just on Machinist. It just does the same thing as Troubadour and whatnot. There's also concerns over the initial opener. Apex Arrow is not fully chargeable by the time you get to your first Apex Arrow. So there's that concern as well. But other than that, the dots being 30 seconds at all levels now is the greatest thing for fucking leveling roulette.
No kidding.
I don't know. I think Bard and Machinist are both going to be... I think Machinist is probably the biggest question mark, but I think Bard and Dancer are going to be fine. At a glance, they look like they'll be fine. It'll just be some short adjustment period, but Bard should otherwise feel a lot better to play. But Machinist is where we still get a bunch of question marks, because there's some changes here that people are like... So... I think their goal with Machinist is to make it the Black Mage of ranged physical.
I could see that.
I do feel like that's because they literally only have the interrupt, the head graze plus the other ones that no one gives a shit about, and Tactician for damage reduction. That's it for their utility.
Yeah.
But their numbers, for the most part, things are looking pretty nice. They've got that direct crit hit on reassemble. They got potency buffs to drill and to air anchor, both of which are 700. Bioblaster is still a good option for AoEs if you need to use reassemble. But the big question posed to everyone is, what the hell is happening to Wildfire?
2 minutes.
So here's the thing. Wildfire was already the biggest topic. Technically, overheating was the biggest topic, and is still probably the most major topic. Because Heat Blast is still 1.5. Still reduces Gauss and Ricochet by 15 seconds apiece, which means you'll want to spend them before you get to your Wildfire window. And I feel like there was a bit of misinformation where people didn't understand that Gauss and Ricochet were abilities and not weapon skills, and that Wildfire was only working on weapons. I saw so many people mixing that up for weeks, even before this most recent thing. That's not the concern, really. The concern is how much clipping there could potentially be during a Wildfire window, which, is always, you're always going to be overheated during that.
Yeah.
But now Wildfire is once every 2 minutes, and they buffed its potency to 200 a weapon skill instead of 150. I really hope that's because the Automaton Queen works on Wildfire now. I really hope it's 2 minutes, because I don't think an extra minute's worth 50 potency a hit.
No, not at all. It's. I mean, that is, in a sense, it would be a nerf on paper, because they'd have to double it, because it's double the cooldown.
Yeah, but at the same time, if Wildfire is affected by the Queen and bounced around it, you won't have a Queen for the first Wildfire. So I'm still hoping the Queen works for Wildfire. It's just that if it's 2 minutes, I without doing the math, sitting down and doing the math, I don't know if these other buffs are positive enough to make up for that. The 700 potency every 20 seconds and then 700 potency every 40 seconds for air anchor. there's things here that are really, really nice. And I think machinists are going to have those moments where they're just like, oh, dude, big damage.
Yeah. Oh.
They're going to still have those like really exciting moments in their rotation, but between those moments is the concern
it's going to be a little
machinists are having.
Yeah.
So I'm and the big thing about Wildfire says your own weapon skills. Now, I'm not taking that as the queen, not counting as your own, but that's how it's worked thus far. Because you own that queen. That queen's yours.
Yeah,
and
it's your robot.
Yeah, it's your robot. It's an extension of you. You summon the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And why else would arm punch and roller dash be weapon skills? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I just don't. Why not just make them abilities, like so they can benefit from skill speed? One of them's 1.5 seconds anyway. It can't benefit from skill speed anyway. That's my queen. So I'm hoping that if it's 2 minutes, it's because the queen works. I'm not optimistic that that's the case. I'm just hoping.
Yeah, I mean, it almost feels like if it doesn't, it probably will, because, I mean, what else? You know, you just kind of, between your burst windows, you're just like, pew, pew.
Yeah.
That's it.
Optimistic. Cautiously optimistic, but very much under a scrutinous eye. And then we come to the Magic Range DPS, who I feel all pretty good about. I feel good about all of them. Summoner's the only one with maybe a couple question marks, but I feel pretty good about all three of them.
I think Summoner is to be expected, though, because they're kind of doing a big shift there.
Yeah. Yeah. Black Mage and Red Mage, not so much. Black Mage changes were my favorite of the casters, personally. I think Umbral Soul is the single greatest ability. I don't even play Black Mage, and I saw Umbral Soul, and by the time I understood it, I was like, I love it. Xenoglossy, Despair, Umbral Soul, the changes to the Ice Magic, Freeze. It's all so smart.
Of course it is. It's Yoshi P's job.
The only thing that's still left is when it comes to roll actions, like they have Lucid, which obviously is never going to do anything, but they're not going to give them one less roll action just because. They're not like, well, Black Mage can't use it, so fuck caster roll actions, you just get one less. They'll be like, yeah, you can't really use it, but here you go. Just don't put it on your bar, because it doesn't reduce enmity anymore.
Yep, and you don't really need MP. Unless, well, I don't know. Would it be possible for there to be some, like...
Not with Umbral Soul.
Oh,
Umbral Soul is what you'll do when there's no targets. You'll just keep them stacks, yo. But for Black Mage, who cares if it's useless? You need it on Summoner and Red Mage anyway, so they're not going to take it away from that.
Yep.
Red Mage is kind of the same as Black Mage, just got a few adjustments. I saw a lot of people confused about Reprise, which cracks me up, because they see Reprise and they're like, that's fucking stupid, and then they forget to scroll down to Enchanted Reprise.
Yeah.
Because regular Reprise is melee range only. But Enchanted Reprise is 25 Yalm, so it's basically like Scathe. In a sense. And it doesn't cost any MP either, I don't think. So it's there, it's got its use. It's got nerfed a little bit, which I understand why. I think it may be over nerfed, but meh. And then Summoner.
Ooh.
See, I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing Summoner, but I totally get what some people's concerns are here. I don't know if you've paid much attention to Summoner.
Not in particular. At least not like what people have been talking about today.
Well, Firebird, people are still concerned about there's a 40-second window after Firebird Trance where there's not really much to do. You basically have your dots and you ruin. And, maybe you'll have a further ruin proc during those times. Maybe you'll have to pop an energy drain to get some stacks back, but other than that, people are just worried about, 40-second downtime across the otherwise, 80 seconds of, decent pace.
That's definitely no good.
I mean, listen, there's jobs that have had worse downtimes than 40 fucking seconds. And you're still doing things, you're just not doing very many things. I suppose, is the best way to put it. I don't know. I think people looked at the 20-second time frame where it's just ruins, and I'm like, I don't know, dude. 20 seconds isn't enough for me to really consider that a downtime. That's more like it's more like a break.
Yeah, 20 seconds is, I mean, acceptable, I think.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of good to be had on Summoner. And like I said, when it comes to Summoner Scholar, I'm leveling Summoner to get through both of them because, sorry, but I'm not going to have fun playing Scholar in leveling. I just won't. Just won't total. Yeah, Eggy Assaults are only usable during that 40-second downtime. Seeing a whole, Machinist has a whole minute of downtime.
Yeah.
Monk's entire rotation is downtime. Scholar's entire life is downtime now. There you go.
Oh, no.
It's still
You're right.
really strange to me that Everlasting Flight, they buffed the heal on it, but it's still like, did Summoner really need to bring a heal? This like heal over time for the duration of Firebird Trance?
Yeah, I think that's purely just like a job fantasy, sort of like a aesthetic thing, because it's Phoenix, right?
Yeah. And we couldn't make him res everyone, as if if we didn't already have enough res memes with the caster roll.
Yeah, it's just a little flavor, so.
I mean, I would have preferred like fire damage over time. Fuck it,
Yeah,
I know he's a
honestly,
resurrection.
A little pulsing fire damage would have made a little more sense, I think. Even like in line with Phoenix, like in the phase with the Benus, he's pulsing out the wave of fire.
Yeah. And then besides, we already know how great Summoner healing potencies usually are. They're not like red, unless this one is. Maybe this one's more like Vercure, like Vercure style
Could
potency.
be. Probably not, but maybe.
No, probably not. Probably not at all. So we'll see. Physics 500, 400, whatever potency heal it is now. I think it's 400 now. I hope it's pet scaling and it's a noticeable heal.
Yes. 400.
What's funny with the magic DPS? You kind of have a Scholar White Mage Astro situation with Black Mage Summoner Red Mage. Black Mage only has shields, Red Mage has direct cures, and Summoner has both.
Yeah,
It's got the Titan Shield and the AoE heal.
you're right.
And Physic. There you go. They need to stop dividing our ranged magical DPS by shield and pure healing DPS. It's bullshit.
Oh, no.
Tired of it. All those summoners that want to be healers, y'all need to relax, okay? PvP changes, I don't know what we can really talk about. I mean, they go over some general things in the patch notes outside of the actual ability changes. I don't know if you or I are qualified.
Not really. I haven't looked over too many of the PvP actions for the jobs. I looked over tank stuff. Gunbreaker in particular seems almost a little too powerful. They have a ton of self-healing.
They have like 4 100% damage self-heals, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll heal you for like 1k or 1.5k.
Yeah, let's see. Brutal Shell absorbs 100% of damage dealt its HP, creates a barrier that nullifies damage equaling to the heal.
Yeah, which is like 1k, I think it says.
The combo potency is 1.2. Yeah, 1.2.
Yeah,
oh,
so
that's right. Yeah, it's flat. Its potency is 1
it's
to
flat.
1 in PvP.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a 1.2k heal, 1.2k shield. That's fucking nice in PvP.
It sure is. And then what else do we got here?
Continuation. Each one has 100%.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
So
Yeah.
it's 3k during continuation.
Yeah, Jugular Rip, Abdomen Tear, and Eye Gouge are all 100% HP absorbs during the fucking combo. Drawn Junction is...
Yeah, fucking nice.
Yeah, if targeting a melee DPS or tank, lowers target's damage dealt by 10%, and then grants yourself a draw power effect of the same kind. And then if you do it from range DPS, increases target's damage taken by 10% while making you take 10% less damage.
And that's spicy because we have full swing again now. And assuming those stack, that's 20% damage down. That's spicy.
That is absolutely spicy. There's... man.
Yeah, Rough Divide gives ammo. Like, what the fuck, dude?
It sure does. Rough Divide gives ammo. What else do we have here? There's no. Oh no, there are charges. That's fucking stupid. Anyway,
Yep.
Faded Circle's got a 50% heavy if you're currently under the draw effect.
Yeah.
And if that's draw power, if you have draw fortitude, it's a 2-second bind instead. So depending on what you actually drew.
Same with Burst Strike.
Yes, Burst Strike is same thing, just higher potency on a single target.
Yeah.
But
so either you have AoE bind and heavy or a single target.
I didn't even look at Dancer PvP stuff now that we're mentioning it.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it. All right, let's see. Cascade, Fountain, Saber Dance, 2000 potency. Oh, Saber Dance also increases damage dealt by you and your by you and your dance partner by 10%. Okay, all right.
That's pretty good.
Thanks for the Esprit. Thanks for the Esprit, everybody. What else do we got here? Fan Dance 1 costs a 4-fold feather and reduces the cooldown of Fan Dance 3 by 5 seconds. Fan Dance 3 has a 30-second cooldown and reduces the damage taken by self and dance partner by 10%.
What the fuck? Dancer looks pretty fucking sweet.
They've got Standard Step, which I guess I got to scroll down to Standard Finish in PvP to see if that's any different. Okay, potency increases with proximity to enemies up to 200%, so we can do up to 2400 potency for Standard Finish. To everyone nearby, there's no fall off. Then it also increases damage dealt. Damage bonus varies with successful steps. Standard Finish effect reduces weapon skill cast time and recast time, as well as spellcast and recast time on number of successful steps. So it's Esprit effect, 20% chance to increase Esprit gauge by 10 upon landing a successful weapon skill or magic damage for 60 seconds. So it's kind of like its PvE version. And the technical step is for your whole party again. So, wow, that's okay. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, Dancer looks really good.
En Avant quickly dashes forward and grants the effect of En Avant. So I'm assuming that means you can use it twice in a row, or increased movement speed, or something. Oh my god, Curing Waltz is 30 seconds cooldown with a 2500 cure potency.
And it's AoE too, that's nice.
Around you and your partner. Yeah, and En Avant has 3 charges still, so I don't know. Jesus Christ, Curing Waltz. What the fuck? Oh, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm hoping I'm a little more interested in PvP this expansion than
Me
I was
too.
in Stormblood.
I want to do Feast. I want to compete.
Do you though?
Yeah.
Don't you just want to compete in the hardcore Ishgard Restoration leaderboards?
Both.
Is that an actual both, or is that like
Yeah. No, legitimately. I've been planning on getting a little more hardcore into crafting this time around, and PvP too.
Yeah, I guess when we talk about the patch notes, there's actually some pretty important PvP stuff. Ishgard stuff to talk about in there. Not Ishgard directly, but the changes to crafting and how they might impact all that altogether. So with that, though, we're at about the halfway point of the show. I'm not going to lie to you, though, Mary. I'm pretty freaking tired. So what I'm going to do is I think our patrons are just as excited for Shadowbringers as we are. And they understand that we're going the fuck to sleep after this.
Yeah.
So let's thank our patrons of light. I'd like to thank some new names on the Patreon list, but I think we're going to leave the reading of the whole list to Tuesday because I don't know if I can rap God my way through it today because I am pretty beat. So
and we don't got Slyh.
Sleepy boy. Yeah, and Sly's gone. So
yeah.
The energy's just not the same without him.
Yeah.
It's just not the same. For anyone who's wondering, by the way, they've been talking about it in the Twitch chat. I don't know if I mentioned it on the stream. Sly's net just stopped working. So it's a 2-man show. And we're leaving his box half empty as an homage. He has been called.
First.
Yes. Yeah. He's been called to the first. We are so cool. In every way, we are so cool. I don't even know how we got this cool. All right. Well, since Stormblood's officially over, they're no longer our patrons of light, by the way. They are indeed our patrons of dankness. Or darkness.
Fuck yeah.
If you prefer. So thank you to Khuja Cross on Jenova, who's got his little absolute virtue and his Final Fantasy XI swag going on in general right here.
Looking good.
Yeah, Mary likes that shit.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, there you go. No, not patrons of Frogness. That's the patrons of Pepega. The Pepes of Darkness. There you go. And then we've also got Kurenai Oni, who's still looking at the Crystal Tower on Omega, hoping to get that remix as soon as possible in the actual expansion, because we all want that fucking Omega remix.
It's going to be Feast.
Oh, don't. Fuck. I'll never hear it. I'll never hear it now. Oh, man. Oh, it's all right. I'll have it on an album of some kind.
Yup.
Yeah. Of course, all of our patrons, as per usual. If not for my exhaustion and the lack of Slyh, we'd be going through all the names. But a couple of shout-outs. We had Ethan. We had someone named Scott. We had Anthony. And we had Leomo Deji from Cerberus. All were new patrons since the last show that we did. So thank you to them for joining the patrons over on Patreon. And thank you to all of our patrons for supporting through hashtag demonetized. Hopefully you're going to enjoy all the Shadowbringer stuff that is about to come your way. With that, we now have patch notes, Mary. What's that for?
I'm tired.
We'll make it quick, I promise.
All right.
I'm tired too, man. I'm gonna stuff my face, my fat fucking face, one more time after this.
Yeah, me too.
And
I want Popeye's chicken.
Oh yeah? Did you already order it, or do you have to go get it?
No. You gotta go get it.
Oh, that's your mistake. You should have had it already. Reminds me, I was at the supermarket, and Tequila's here because he's going to be filling in for shifts for a 24/7 stream. And we were walking through, and there were just these like pre-made buckets of chicken wings.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, look out! Look, they have just pre-made buckets of chicken wings. I was like, who's going to buy that? And he's like, well, I mean, we need that, right? I'm like,
yeah, dude.
We don't. And he was like, nah, I'm pretty sure we need that.
Hell yeah. Chicken wings are great.
I've got enough food in the house. No, they're not boneless. I want my bone. Give me my bone.
Need that bone flavor.
I need all that bone flavor. Okay, so the patch notes are actually pretty straightforward. There's some great stuff in here. They're still keeping that 6th zone a complete mystery.
Yup.
Which I'm hoping is going to be like a Realm of Light kind of thing going on there.
Yeah, I could see that. Maybe tied to that one dungeon we saw.
Yeah. Just a few reminders about where the main story starts. Of course, in the Rising Stones. New side story quests being added that have that new quest sync feature. Role quests, and even the inclusion of a role quest finale.
Yeah.
If you do all of them. I'm actually super pumped for role quests.
Yeah, me too. I love the Warriors of Darkness, so it'll be really cool to just kind of like have their story unfold.
Yeah, I'm wondering how that ends. Like, that's got to be a sad ending no matter how you do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
All the new level 80 job quests, which are supposed to be in equal volume to that of what would be normally the 10 level range worth of quest.
Yeah.
You can see all familiar NPCs except for Dancer and Gunbreaker, who they're keeping secret because for obvious reasons. But for Dark Knight, you see Sidurgu, you see Curious Gorge for Warrior, you see Genlins for Paladin, Oboro for Ninja, all the usual culprits. So when you hit level 80 and finish the Shadowbringers main scenario quest, go back and get them done for some story. No abilities tied behind them.
Yep.
Yeah. However, for Dancer Gunbreaker, the level 70 quest is an ability.
Yep.
So
Continuation for Gunbreaker, and I forget what for Dancer.
I don't remember. Brain's not working. I don't feel like looking either.
Yeah.
We have the Crystarium Deliveries, which are basically the role quests in a sense for the crafters and gatherers. There's 5 different facets, and then a super finale quest, just like with the role quests.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get those done because it looks like it'll be a nice early expansion, like a little bit of additional EXP. Most people probably grind out leaves and collectibles, but
Yeah, that'll help you just top up a little bit.
Is there any mention of weekly limits on these anywhere?
I don't think so. I would imagine no. It seems like it's going to be similar to Rowena's, like House of Splendors, maybe.
Well, I don't know, because there is like an Esteem level and an Esteem gauge, and there's like 6 requested items. It could just be one delivery. That one delivery with all 6 items is your weekly thing for each facet.
It could be daily too.
Could be daily. I don't see any mention of like
a
limitation. Maybe there is mention, and I just
yeah, I don't see it either.
Don't see it.
could be elsewhere in the patch notes. So.
Yeah. Crystalline mean after you get through a certain part of the main scenario, that'll open up to you, and then you can do the other facets as well. New leave quests, new fates. You know what? For a second, I forgot he mentioned that there were going to be ether currents during the live letter, because there's no mention of ether currents in this patch notes anywhere. I kind of started toying around with the idea of them being with fates. They won't be. He's confirmed there are ether currents in the live letter. But I was wondering if fates or just main scenario completion in general would have better befitted unlocking flying in any way.
Maybe. It would get people out doing them.
I think people will be out doing them plenty this time. I think with the gemstone rewards and the reputation goals, people are going to be aiming for that. They'll probably be pretty busy. I know I plan on doing a bunch while I'm leveling up, even as just dancer.
Well, no, it'll be fucking fantastic for early crafting too, because you can get a bunch of the just crafting materials.
Yeah, you can spend the gemstones on those.
On early game crafting stuff.
There are also riding maps for ground speed, although odds are you'll probably get flying before you end up actually needing those. But either way, I'm glad they're trying to bring some life back into the fate system. They've also made mention of only doing more interesting fates, like ones that actually tell stories, and avoiding more of those. Some dude needs you to pick flowers because his wife likes flowers.
Yeah.
Which is good, because I hate those fates. Just
they're pretty tedious.
Not pleasant. Treasure hunting, just the usual updates. We are getting a new treasure dungeon the same day as Savage, which is not the 9th dungeon, just to be clear. A lot of people have been asking if it is. No, because then they would have advertised 9 dungeons in the previous expansions, because we got Stormblood, we got the Lost Canals, same day.
Yep.
I don't know about you, but I always feel really conflicted on Savage Day, because I obviously want to do Savage more.
Yeah.
But I want to do some fucking maps.
Get some of that fresh gill.
I just want to make that gill while it's hot.
Yeah.
Before that shit gets done to death and ain't worth shit. There's like 3 items in Uznair that are worth something before the servers went down. It was like the hedgehoglet, the capybara, and like one other thing. Submersible stuff. Hey, look, Blue Mage. Blue Mage is now an option for company crests. Woo!
Yeah, everyone's gonna have that.
Yeah, woo!
Blue Mage free company. Let's go.
And also Blue Mage gear for mannequins, so you can punch Blue Mages. Woo! No. I had fun on Blue Mage. I just need.
I enjoyed Blue Mage too. I'm stoked for 5.1.
I gotta find the interview. I think it was Aludi, who I think is here, posted a quote from an interview about the new Blue Mage content coming in 5.1, because there was mention of it in a recent interview. Yeah, there's like this 4-man thing. They said this hardcore 4-man content for Blue Mages. Yeah. That it's gonna be quite something.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm excited too, because they had great premise, just not much. I mean, if you needed allied seals, it was always great every week.
Yeah.
If you were someone who'd been slacking on that hardcore. But other than that, it's like, meh.
Yeah. It'll be nice to see if they actually build on the foundation they have. And I have faith they'll do an okay job of doing just that. So
I just also want them for Palace of the Dead in 5.1, man.
That would be cool.
It's just fixed parties only. I would love it. Dude, Necromancer title's about to get a lot more common.
That would be really cool. I'd love to do just solo climbs with Blue Mage.
Yeah, even group climbs, I'd be more willing to put up with 200 floors of bullshit with Blue Mage. What else is here? Aquarium, fishes, seeds for flower pots. New prizes.
Oh boy.
Adjustments to the Domin Mahjong. I like that Hrothgar and Vieira, they just threw under miscellaneous randomly at one part. Just like, you can play it.
You become these dudes. Check that out.
Yeah. Creating new characters, using a Fantasia, or hiring a retainer. New Fate challenge log. Did you do challenge log prep before Shadowbringers?
Yeah, everything but Fate.
Well, yeah, because the Fate ones are being removed. So, yeah. I wasn't gonna, and then I ended up doing it. don't
I
know
mean, I
why.
got to because I got to get my boost from 60 to 61.
Yeah, I think leveling in an alliance with the Aetheryte earrings probably be enough, but this'll ensure that it's enough. And your level 60 job quest, I'd imagine, because I'd imagine that it's a level 60 job quest and then another one. Like there's one to unlock it and one to immediately do.
Yes, they usually do.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that that's what it'll be. And I actually have to do those because I got to make sure I have it. I got to have those quests done to get to level 70.
Yep.
What else do we have here? Then there's just, the new jobs, new job locations. Why did they have to put Dancer next to the fucking Aetheryte in Limsa? Limsa.
They put Gunbreaker next to the Aetheryte in Gridania.
Yeah, but no one gives a shit about Gridania. Limsa is always packed.
I suppose.
Everyone's like, oh no, new Gridania. So not full.
Yeah, it was kind of a bad idea putting those right next to the Aetheryte.
They shouldn't, neither of them should really be next to the Aetherites. They should be in like Old Gridania and Upper Limsa.
Yeah, out of the way.
But they aren't. So I really hope I get on really fucking fast because otherwise.
Yeah, good luck, everybody.
It's gonna be a goddamn problem. Dude, the amount of for an hour straight, I'm gonna be fucking refreshing to see if that fucking button is green, like nonstop. Like I'm taking no fucking chances. I want in.
I feel that.
Yeah, Limbs is super crowded because the market board's literally half a step away.
Yeah, it's the most efficient city state.
It sure is. Let's see. Interrupting, which is nothing really new. Charged actions. I saw somebody suggest that they make energy drain charged. Not for Scholar, of course. But for Summoner. For Summoner. I've seen people suggest that. I don't know how I feel about it because I don't play Summoner.
Yeah, I couldn't really say.
It's mostly just so like when there's downtimes where like energy drain comes off cooldown, you're not like losing ether flows across the whole fight kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think of the opener and I'm like,
damage.
All that damage. Pet action changes, player attributes like TP and MP stuff. Parrying and blocking had their effectiveness reduced. I had a feeling that was going to happen.
Yeah. Well, that was at the media tour too.
Was it? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I mean you could look at the percentages in the build.
It was 15%, so it's probably going to be 15.
I think it was 15 for parry, 19 for block. Or was it?
I think it was 15 for both, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look at my paladin stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember precisely. Yeah, I mean that's just expected with like a native 20% reduction at all times.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they even said they'd have to adjust like UCOB and UWU because of certain like just guaranteed reductions and protecting on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are still questioning if they'll be doable. With the changes.
Think at the start, maybe not. I think it might be a little rough.
Just because people don't get it? Because it's not like you're going to out-gear it or anything. It's still going to be...
Yeah, just because some jobs are so different and just like the removal of, like you said, things like protect and just the damage balance kind of being a little different across the board.
We'll see. I'm sure people will actually try fairly quickly before Savage. People want to like just get used to... Like just to like trial out new people and stuff for raids and stuff, what's it called? So this next point is people are a little divided. And like I get why, but at the same time it's like here's the thing, it's one of those things I don't give a shit about, but it's going to matter to the people who are most annoying. And that is the party bonus. So now you get 1% increased strength, vitality, dexterity, mind, and intelligence for each unique roll up to a maximum of 5% tank, melee, physical range, magic range, and healer.
I like it.
I like it, but people have concerns that the party finder, is not going to have zero flexibility outside of making sure they have at least one of those, which to me isn't really much of a concern. But I can name a shit ton of party finders where I really could have dealt without that fucking shitty like magic range DPS, and he's the only one and he's still filling the role kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it means that you may want to be more flexible going into a party finder group if they're not being too specific, but then you want to be able to change for all that. Standard part, like most groups won't have issues with this, but it's just there's going to be situations where people kind of look at it as a holy grail, needs to be that way and can never be another way kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because it's not even the difference between 5%; it's the difference of 4% and 5%. You're not ever gonna have fucking 4 melee or 4 range physical. I don't care about the dancer memes; it's not gonna happen.
But that 1% damage is going to be the difference between a wipe and a clear.
Yeah, there's going to be people who think that. I mean, don't get me wrong. You always want to bring every advantage you can, and now being diverse is an advantage.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing. I saw people saying, oh my god, Party Finder is going to be so annoying with this. And I'm like, is it really that annoying?
Not really.
It might be a little bit, but like, generally speaking, I already had to deal with some shit at the Party Finder. Like, if there was ever a samurai making a Party Finder, I basically couldn't join his monk. Mm-hmm. Because he would just lock it, because I was the only competition he had. People will still do that for various roles and shit. People will still be like, if there's a black mage, I'm like, fuck it, I want to be the only black mage. I want to be the only caster. I want to be the only this. I want to be the only that. It's never going to work out that way. One of those 2 roles is getting 2 things, and tank and healer are always getting 2.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things people are just thinking about way too hard.
It'll be okay.
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Armory bonus buff. We knew that was coming.
Hell yeah. Oh, it's going to make leveling my Gunbreaker so much easier.
Yeah, I have a party put together. Gunbreaker, Dancer, and we're just going to plug a healer spot, I think, because odds of finding a 60 to 70 healer. Not great. And we're going to do leveling roulette, then alliance roulette. That should ding 61, and then level through dungeons. 61 dungeons, 63, 65, 67, 69.
Yep. I'm interested to see how some of the polls are going to be since they're getting rid of EXP chains.
Well, they're getting rid of EXP chains, but they're raising like the base EXP of all the monsters, so it should be. It should just be consistent.
Oh, is that what they're? I thought they were like lumping it onto the bosses.
All they've said is they've regulated here. Let me look at the exact word. EXP chain bonus in instance dungeon has been removed. In accordance with this change, the amount of EXP gained in instance dungeons has been increased.
Okay.
That's what it says verbatim. So basically, the goal is there should be no variance based on the size of your pulls and the speed of your kills.
Yeah.
From beginning to end, every group should be getting the same amount of experience points based on their level. Like, obviously, if you're like 74 in the 73 dungeon, you get less. But other than that. But even if you're taking it nice and slow versus going in 15 minutes, at least by the end of it, you've earned the same amount.
Yeah. I guess that means Doma Castle first boss runs will be the way to go still.
Yeah, I hadn't considered that, but now that you've mentioned it.
For anybody leveling Gunbreaker or Dancer, once you hit Doma Castle, the most efficient EXP is spamming all the way up to the first boss and resetting.
Yeah, we're going to need a healer for that, Chrono, because I don't want to pug healers and then leave every time.
Yeah.
One healer's like...
That won't work, yeah. You'll definitely need a healer.
If you have a full party, of course. If you don't,
if you have a full party,
you take what you fucking get.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're probably doing Heaven on High, to be fair.
Yeah.
Don't bring up Ray Phlox. Don't bring up Myth Phlox. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want to think about it. He did a bad thing that I didn't want you to talk about. Okay. Oh, okay. Trusts, just another reiteration about how they'll work here. In the French one, they do show one trust we already knew about. The other one we could have just divined. The Crystal Bearer, or guys we are predicting could be Grahatia.
Yeah.
We saw that in the launch trailer that he was one of the trusts that was working in what is presumably the first dungeon. And then Lena, the Viera character, was also a trust that was shown in the French client, or in the French patch notes, if I'm not mistaken. So a couple more than we were anticipating. We still haven't seen Ishtola. We'll assume that she'll be available by the 75 dungeon.
Yeah. And I think this means maybe we'll see a couple more.
Yeah, there's a high probability that we get a couple more of them on top of that. It leaves room for some other fun ones. I'm still hoping for an Elazinos one, personally. I don't think it'll happen now, but there's Gaius, there's Astinian, there's also... Dude, I don't think you can make Astinian a trust. I think he's shown way too much godlike power for you to be able to reduce him to that.
Well, he's too cool to party.
Well,
Who wouldn't want it?
He's literally like, he took out a cannon that was stopping a whole army in one fell swoop.
Yeah, he did.
So it'd be kind of fucked up if he's like, by the way, life surge full thrust.
He's the main character now.
He walk up to every boss and he just like Saitama's that bitch with his spear. That's it. Curious Gorge. You know what's funny? I was just thinking about the job NPCs at
That'd
some
be
point.
fun.
Sidurgu and Curious Gorge and all that. Dude, I want Ham and Holy Fist.
You know what I want?
What?
Hildebrand trusts with a Hildebrand dungeon as a part of
I have no doubt this will happen at some point.
Hildebrand storyline. That would be amazing.
Just Godbert, Julian, and Hildebrand. You just need Julian to be fair, but, you know. Probably more likely to be like Hildebrand Nashu plus Gilgamesh or something like that. I'd sooner expect them to do that. Nashu's just throwing bombs the whole time.
Yeah. Godbert would be a boss.
He'd be the boss of that dungeon. And his trust-specific interaction would be putting Hildy in the fucking ground. Oh, man. Titania and Innocence being shown again. We still don't know who the final boss is, so not much to really say there. All the tombstone changes we know about. You will not be able to undersize Rathalos.
Good.
I actually
off.
deliberately waited to do Rathalos because I was gonna unsync my remaining like 15 scales. No.
Well, I got all 50 of mine.
I'm gonna have to do it still. So Blue Mage when you hit 70, we're going into Rathalos. Can't wait. Can't wait for it. Ultimates are still in Raid Finder, even though it's updated for 5.0 stuff. They gave us values for all the tombstones for Poetics and Goetia. One thing is the reward for the Adventure in Need bonus. So they did confirm both Grade 7 and Grade 8 materia, which had already been rumored for some time now, but is now hard confirmed in the patch notes. And the Adventure in Need bonus for both Leveling and Alliance Roulette is 1 Grade 8 and 2 Grade 7s.
Seems like they're going pretty heavy on the 7s. And I think a big part of it is they wanted to circumvent people just destroying the market with Mutamix melts.
Yeah. They also did do some quality of life stuff for Mutamix. Like you can just repeat. You can do it a lot faster. You can skip the cutscene that you have to watch every single time.
It's good. I have like 5,000 fucking Grade 6 materia.
It seems like the biggest thing was that 5 and 6s have just become so widely available that they just couldn't leave one tier. Like they had to do a second tier to kind of make sure things were not too crazy. It's just a hard reset on the whole materia market.
Yeah.
I'll still transmute 6s to 7s. I probably just won't transmute 7s to 8s.
Yeah.
But it's nice because the bigger thing I took away is that Alliance Roulette and Leveling Roulette, one was rewarding. Aloha, what are you doing? Why'd you come from the back of the desk to the front of the... You're mine.
Big boy.
This is what you asked for, Aloha. This is what you asked for. You asked for this. Yeah, he's a big boy. Look at him. He's laying in my fucking arms. This is what you get, Aloha.
That's a chonker.
I wanted to come up here. Oh, it's because my fucking lunch is like the plate is. Aloha. No, there's no lunch for you anymore. Okay, that's it. There's no fucking lunch.
He just wanted you for your lunch.
That's it. It's all. He literally jumped on top of luggage onto my PC, walked behind my desk on top of it, and then came under the monitor to get to me.
To get to your food.
But I'm at my food. He had to go past me sooner or later. I like that it's the same rewards for both the Leveling and Alliance Roulette. It's no longer Maki Matter, which was the level, for Grade 5, and then Crack Clusters for Grade 6. It's just Grade 7 and Grade 8 from Leveling and Alliance. I'm assuming there's like a level requirement for that. Like you need to be a minimum level to actually qualify for those. But I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, that'll be great. More reason to do roulettes.
Specifically for the roles in need at that. So for the things that speed it up the most.
Yep.
We got some new enemies, most of which we've already seen at this point, but also some new elite marks. We got the Pepe Bot 9001. We got Kelpie. We got fucking Edward Scissorhands. And we've got a Final Fantasy 1 style Goblin.
I'm so happy about that. He looks so good.
I know what I actually like, little attention to detail. They're still using the Goblin, the wireframe that they use for Goblins in the source, but they're just making him look like the Final Fantasy 1 Goblins.
Makes you wonder, is that what Eorzean goblins look like under the mask?
Well, if they do, then these ugly motherfuckers should probably put a mask on then. But I think it's a nice little detail. We're on the first of the Final Fantasy 1 Goblin again.
Yeah. No, that's really cool.
Yeah. Then we've got all the other changes to the hunt, like the B rank radar and the S rank radar and stuff like that.
And the spawn thing for S's and
yeah. Speaking of hunts, you ready to get some fucking nutsacks, bro?
Hell yeah! I'm gonna get all the nutsacks.
These nuts. So Sack of Nuts is actually a reference to another Final Fantasy game. I think it's Tactics Advance. And I still think it's a poor choice of
oh, it's gonna be the biggest fucking meme. Like, all expansion.
Hey, what did you get from killing that A rank? These nuts.
We're never gonna hear the end of it.
Not until 6.0, unless it becomes a larger sack of nuts, which is not gonna help.
Big sack of nuts.
Yeah, big sack of nuts for 6.0. That. What could possibly go wrong with that one right there?
Nothing. Thanks, Koji.
Yeah, they're not called this in any other language. So,
Koji,
what have you done? It's like the year of the cock all over again. Like he had way too much fun.
Oh yeah.
I keep asking everyone to pet my cock, and they keep giving me this weird look. That's text from this game.
Yep.
Thank you, Koji. Thank you.
Starboard nuts or larboard nuts? Just saw that. That's good.
That's good. It's good.
I like starboard nuts.
I'm sure you do. Anyway.
I don't know what that means. Anyways.
Palace of the Dead and Heaven on High are going to have Gunbreaker and Dancer weapons. I didn't even think of that. I forgot that there were even fucking weapons from Palace of the Dead.
Yeah.
They're just
I figured that would be a thing.
I didn't.
It makes sense.
You prepared A12. Did you take any sort of gamble on Midas or Gordius weapons? I don't think there will be.
I don't think so, but I have pages for everything.
Okay. Yeah, I just did. Do you think they'll be available right away? Because I don't remember I don't think the Final Coil ones were available right away.
They weren't, but that's because it became UCOB. So if they're planning to do Alexander Ultimate, maybe they'll wait. Maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
I feel like the reason why we didn't get the UCOB weapons right away is because maybe they weren't like 100% set at that point in time.
With how long it takes to develop it, I feel like they would have had to have been 100% set. I suppose.
Time. Maybe it was because they didn't do the previous weapons and they didn't want to have just like, just the UCOB, just the coil weapon, the final coil weapons, and like maybe give people an idea of what they were thinking with the ultimate or whatever.
Maybe. I've got 16 books. I even went and I did like crystalloids and stuff because I didn't have coffers left over from Omega. Unfortunately, we do know there will not be UCOB and weapons refrain for Dancer Gunbreaker, which is unfortunate because I did find some spare Ultima totems. So I would have been prepared for the glam, but no, we know we won't have ultimate style weapons. Wonder if that's going to kill anyone's motivation for doing it as Dancer Gunbreaker, or like with, when they're trying to practice, because if that's their job of interest.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I'm down to do them, and I'm gonna be a Gunbreaker, so I got other jobs I can use totems on.
I think I've got like 2 jobs I won't have Ultima weapon at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what else? More PvP adjustments. The range of melee attacks going up to 5 yalms is pretty nice.
Yeah.
For melee attacks.
That's fucking fantastic.
Means less likely. Oh, another thing. So I've seen this. This has been a pretty hot topic. So what you can do in PvP now is you can queue as one job and then swap jobs, but you'll get EXP on the job you queued as.
Ooh. That's interesting.
I like it and I don't like it. Like, I like it because it's just a nice thing to be able to do. Like, I tell you right now that if somebody told me I could queue as one job and then swap jobs for something to get EXP, anything that was like open job-wise, I'd be totally down for it. There's not very much content that would work for.
Yeah.
But then there's also the consideration of leveling the job without... Like, I understand it's pretty piss easy. Aloha, get out of here. You turned on my printer. That's your fault. Don't be scared. Amazing. That's your fault. Get out of here. It's printing something. I don't even know what. Aloha.
Normally, incredible.
Stop. What, are you going to unplug it now? Aloha. There you go. Jump down. There you go.
He's just trying to get his tax return, his quarterly tax return ready.
Yeah, well, he's going to be fucking late on this payment. Okay. There you go. Turn it off. It's not even turning. Aloha. I hate you. I hate you so much right now. Like, I get that it's already piss easy to level a job, and that you could basically level a job without ever learning it. Trust me, the Duty Finders taught us that more than enough. Mm-hmm. But the idea of literally never needing to play the job is like a whole nother level for me. I don't think it really matters, but it's just it's odd. It's an odd precedent when I think about it.
It definitely is.
It won't matter in the end.
With PvP, it's fine because it's not like that extreme, but I definitely wouldn't want to see that like bleed anywhere else.
Yeah, basically. It's hard for it to bleed anywhere else because like you can't queue for a dungeon to get tank queues and then go in as dancer.
yeah, that would no.
But I've seen people say that, like, what if you could designate the job to earn an EXP on instead of earning max level? Like, I've seen people suggest that over the years. Like, pick a reward job, but then pick a job to actually play as. And I'm like, I'm pretty about that.
It kind of defeats the purpose. You level a job by playing the job.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. But it's still, all right.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. New recipes, certain items, sale, change, names, Icarus wings, regain feathers, nerfs to the engineering manuals after level 70.
Yeah.
The MP recovery items are always the same. Main attributes, accessories. Whee! Those are always
Yay, strength on the Aetheryte earring for tanks.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people confused about the grade 7, grade 8 materia, thinking it's in any way different than our 6s and 5s are currently. I've seen a lot of people really confused about it.
How?
I guess people who are newer and who don't really know how materia works right now anyway, which makes sense.
I suppose. Yeah. That's fair.
Just to clarify, grade 8s work exactly the same way grade 6s work now in terms of melding, meaning they are 100% chance in any guaranteed slot. And you can overmeld one grade 8, and then the rest have to be grade 7 or lower.
Yep.
And then in the case of... And then, no, I was going to say something that would have made a difference. I was going to say main stat materia, you can only have one, but no, you can't have any. Problem solved. Okay. And then, oh god, the fact that you can do materia melding, just spam multiple materia, the same type of pressing inventory, and may meld them in succession. That works with requesting materia from other people.
Good.
It's so good. It's so good. I needed that. Desynthesis cap going up, that matters to me and nobody else.
Me too. That matters to me. I got mine capped.
Yeah, 380, 380, 380. Now got to be 450, 450, 450.
Heck yeah.
Hopefully there's better desynthesis items this expansion.
Yeah. Stormblood was kind of...
We literally never got another item after, like... I think Storm Sap got added at some point because it was the same patch as the fucking...
Yeah, it came from 24-man gear and stuff.
I mean, technically they did the same with glass fibers, but glass fibers were way harder to get with Moogles than the Storm Saps were.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck Durium ingots.
Like 200 gil? You don't like 200 gil?
Hey, they sold for like 800 on Gilgamesh.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I got 193 mil. You think I made that off anything else? Nah, dude, Durium ingots. You already know. Some of this other stuff as we scroll down is a lot of stuff we already knew. Changes they were making to crafting or gathering, like although I will say that some of these changes are we didn't know about. Stuff like inner quiet caps and piece by piece caps and maker's mark caps and stuff. Like caps added to a lot of like the very standard skills that people use. Muscle memory being stuck to 1,000 as a cap now. I've seen people suggest that this could actually make Ishgard a lot more interesting because it might actually make crafting harder than it was before.
I hope so. Crafting eventually it got to a point where you had so much gear and then you just had a macro and you just press the macro and that's it.
Do you think that this is mostly to encourage people to actually buy HQs for crafting and that's kind of like the sole purpose of it as opposed to just making crafting harder to do?
I think it's a part of the reason. I think maybe just making crafting a little more engaging period might be also part of their idea, because as it stands, like Stormblood was pretty, once you had the gear and the know-how, everything was basically just a guarantee.
Yeah. I think that's necessarily like a bad thing per se, but I could see them wanting to open up a little bit more flexibility within crafting.
Yeah. And give people just a little bit of a challenge if they want to go for like the ultimate, best of the best. Or in the case of Ishgard crafting, like if you want to be if you want your name on this statue, you got to be a good fucking crafter.
Yeah, and that's the big thing to remember is they said that the Ishgard recipes are going to be a lot harder than the other recipes that we've had. We'll see how much truth there is to that when we actually get to Ishgard. But that's a big thing that they keep touting, that it's going to be, while there is going to be things for not hardcore crafters, the hardcore crafters should feel like they've got something very real to work towards.
Yep.
So at the very least, this puts maybe more emphasis on, obtaining better gear, because like crafting gear and gathering gear are kind of, you could cap those out pretty quick in Stormblood, quicker than Heavensward at the very least.
Definitely.
So. I hope that it does mean that. I would like a bit more depth in the crafting and gathering, but I want to do it this expansion. I really do.
Yeah,
except fishing. Fuck fishing.
Fishing's comfy.
No.
Fishing indecent.
I have to do fishing for the fucking facet quest anyway to get the fucking final quest, so I don't have a choice now. But
or sorry, not decenting. Fishing and ethereal reduction.
You could also desynth fish.
You can.
Or
but it's
desynth.
kinda... We haven't had anything good from decenting fish since ARR and the swimsuits.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Oh man. Well, I mean, the only thing that really makes me interested in crafting is all the UI updates and shit. Like it's more exciting to look at.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah. It beats looking at a bunch of tiny little icons above your hotbar.
Now you look at a bunch of tiny little icons in the same window as all the other things.
Yeah.
It's all consolidated.
Nice. Yeah.
It's just so nice. Every time I look at it, I'm like, I'm going to craft. Then I scroll to literally anything else and forget that I said that. S-rank records can now be obtained from certain fishing spots in the fishing log. AAA records for spearfishing. I don't know if that's a new thing. It says 5.0. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming those are new tiers of fishing and spearfishing. Yeah. It's bigger fishing.
Yeah, singular bait.
Yeah, for the low levels, the one bait from 1 to 50. The whatever they're called here. I don't remember what they're called. The boilies. They also changed some stuff with concealeds, like clusters. You can't get elemental clusters from concealeds anymore. And all of the favor items are just there.
Yeah.
You don't need favors at all. I mean, they've been phased out for years.
Yeah.
All the usual EXP nerfs and shit, so you can't super power level right from the get-go with old shit.
To be expected.
Now, a big thing is we may have finally had our first look at the new Primal Mounts.
Hell yeah, I hope that's it. They look cool.
Talk about the Drakes, right?
Yep.
All right,
Little
so
dragon boys.
I'm gonna pull it up on the screen in a second here. Yeah, the only thing that the thing that tells me above all else is the glow. That's such a
No.
a primal.
It has
glow.
Innocence's like color scheme. It's probably Innocence Drake or something.
Yeah, here, I'll get it up on the screen right there. So that's what we are suspecting will be the Primal Mounts of this expansion.
It's gotta be.
Does it absolutely have to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got that aesthetic. Me too. I think they're cool.
I want to see what because I don't want them to all be light. I think a lot of how much I like them it always depends on the theme of the primals they come from.
Yeah.
And like both Innocence and Titania, I suspect will look pretty similar, and I'm concerned that the final boss may be similar as well, because it's just the whole theme is about removing the light from the world. Yeah. So I imagine it's a lot of light theme stuff or nature theme or things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we get some stuff that doesn't just all kind of look like this in a sense. Like similar.
Definitely. I think we'll get a bunch of variety.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also a fan of the Triceratops, which is probably the hunt mount, I think.
Could be. He's cool.
Did you trade some nuts?
Yeah, nuts for dinos.
Nuts for dinos. That sounds like a terrible business proposition. There you go. The 5 remaining mounts that couldn't fly can now fly. You got Gunbreaker and Dancer Bardings for your Chocobo.
Hell yeah.
But probably my favorite thing in the whole of the patch notes is that fucking guy right there. Because that is the greatest minion ever.
Hell yeah, Shoebill.
Yeah, that's he's not happy to be here.
Nope.
From the way I can tell it. It's just Mr. Duck is smug as fuck.
It's a Shoebill stork. It's not a duck.
You're a Shoebill stork. How do you know this?
Because it's a shoebill. It's what they base the birds off of in Skyward Sword.
All right, I'll take it.
The loft wings.
Quack. There you go. Quack. How about that? Retainers can now be Gunbreaker or Dancer, and Hrothgar and Viera, should you want it. The whole update to the UI for them, which looks great, by the way. I'm actually, the thing I'm happiest about is inventory and Gil. I tend to forget I have Gil on retainers. Pretty often do I forget that I have Gil on retainers. All right.
Yeah, I mean, like with the crafting menu, it's nice. It just looks nice. I wanna just look at it.
That's what the patch notes are for.
Just want to interact with my retainers and be like, hey, I like your menu.
You come here often.
Yes, they do.
They fucking right they do. One thing I really like is the ability to, and I think we learned about this during the live letter, but I had forgotten about it till I went through this. The ability to link party finders in the chat.
Yeah, that's dope. I love
it's
that.
Such a simple thing that's like, how did I never think of this before?
Yeah, it's like, here, join this party finder link.
Like, I'm even just thinking, because I do maps fairly often, so I can just drop that in Crossworld Link Shell and just be like, join it.
Or like if you're doing hunts in your hunt pearl, here's a hunt party finder for this hunt.
Yeah, instead of just LFG, just I guess people have actually gotten a lot better about making party finders for hunts.
Yeah.
As of late, ever since World Visit came out, just people don't have the fucking patience to try and actually invite all these LFGs. It's not happening, man. It's too crazy. It's about to be even crazier. Aether's not even going to be able to fucking World Visit for any of them. We're all going to have to stick to our own servers practically. So
not me.
Yeah, look at me. I have one congested server. And everyone's going to come here, I'm sure of it. How pissed would you be if instead of just letting people, like new players, filter into Crystal, if they just put new servers on Aether and Primal?
I mean, we're pretty comfy, I'd say. That's
a word for it. Mm-hmm.
New players would be nice.
I wouldn't mind people coming to Crystal.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cross-world party invitations on other worlds can be issued via the chat log. Wrong log. The new HP changes for the shielding and the the maximum HP, whether it's been reduced. The down arrow confused the shit out of me. I didn't notice that for such a long time. Like, people kept asking me what the down arrow was for in like my UI shit, and I'm like, max HP? I guess. Glamour Dresser doubled. Yesterday I put my first ever item in the Glamour Dresser.
Yeah? What? Seriously? Wow.
I don't have that many. Dude, the majority of the items I have are Onimo shit that I was hoping would be desynthesizable. And
Dude,
I'm not going to put those in the Glamour Dresser. I'm going to toss them when the servers go live and they're not desynthesizable.
Glamour's the real end game, dude.
Yeah, but I don't want to use my dresser for it when I can just right-click cast Glamour and I'm done.
Yeah, but Glamour plates, dude.
I don't want them. There's not even enough of them.
We got 15 now.
You know how upset I was? I went to put my Deathlock Lux in there, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? All right. Fuck you too, game. All right. I see how it is.
Yeah.
Let's see. 2 Shadowbringers trials will be available in the Duty Recorder.
What are they doing with this system? When is it going to be for everything?
When's it going to be good?
I want it for everything because I make fucking videos and
you know what? At this point, I make videos too. I use this great program called Open Broadcast Software to record it at 1080p, 60 FPS.
Heck yeah.
But it'd be nice to get some fucking angles.
I just don't know what they're doing with this.
They just can't. Like, the amount of data that it takes is like too intense.
I guess.
I just don't care. Stop updating it. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, like if it's not going to be for everything, what's the point?
Also, don't forget, now you can be even more angry at your raid mates when you wipe with 0.1% increments in the HP bar. You know, my favorite thing about this picture is they're fighting Omega, and the name of the character they used was Final Fantasy XIV PvP 8.
PvP 8.
You, sir, are in the wrong place. This is, first of all, the feast is 4 players, so unless you're doing 1 through 4 and 5 through 8, it's fucking weird. Second of all, that's not PvP. It's the wrong character. All right.
Yeah.
PvP versus Omega confirmed in 5.1. There you go. PvEVP. PvPvE?
That's why the Omega music is going to be Feast.
He fucking
Omega
full
just
circle.
shows up in the middle of the feast and just starts fucking shit up.
Just starts casting Ion Efflux. That's what happens if you go into
culling time
for too long. He's just like, I'm done with this childish shit right here. That's it. Dark and light mode. In other words, here's a mode nobody wanted because everyone uses dark mode for everything. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I tried it for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I'm not doing this.
It'll be great for people who like light mode Twitter and light mode Discord.
So like 4 people.
Yeah. How could you?
Yeah, I hope we get like old school Final Fantasy modes at best for UI changes.
That would be so cool. Like a nice blue or something.
Yeah. I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
All you people saying you like light mode, you're wrong. Okay. That's just a fact. It's just true. It's just true.
Yeah.
There you go. Then we have mentor requirement changes. So if you don't hit level 80 by 5.1, you're not a mentor. No, whatever.
Oh no, no crown.
Well, that'll really get rid of the shitty mentors. Wow. Full Owen Wilson on that one.
Wow.
And then to a good change, 8 cross-world link shells.
Heck yeah.
That's dope as
Love
fuck.
that. Yep.
Yeah. Here's actually around this section of the patch notes is where a lot of the like ones they kind of mentioned during the live letter are kind of present. Like the Duty Finder matching will vibrate a DualShock 4 now.
Yep.
That's an additional way of letting you know. They streamlined the dialogue choice options during.
It looks
the
nice.
cutscenes. Yeah, but that's not even the better change. Text relating to the formation or disbanding of a party will no longer appear if a cutscene is in progress.
Yeah.
I have a more important question, Mary. When will it not announce when subaquatic voyages have fucking returned or been sent
Or
out?
your retainers?
Or
Yeah.
my retainers, or any of the 8 million other things that have. Person has left FC, person has left Link Shell, person has done this, person has done that. Someone fucking sat on their hands to give themselves a stranger. I don't need to know these things. Okay?
You know what? I had a fucking run-in with this earlier. I was recording stuff for a video, and I was in the middle of like really like meticulous planned out scenes and like recording all this stuff and doing lip syncing, and then it's like, your retainer has returned from this venture, and it's like, oh great, that fucking 30-second clip just got entirely invalidated.
And then the weather changes.
Yep. And then the weather changes and you gotta wait fucking 3 more hours.
Oh man.
Good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this'll help with one exact situation. It's not nearly all of them.
You know, just a tidbit.
And then probably the most disappointing thing in the patch notes, the position of the identifying letter next to a focus target's name has now been changed. There's no more Laha bread.
I'm sorry, Laha bread.
It's now D Laha Brea.
Someone brought up a good point, though. We have sex death now.
So the next thing on the list, the quest objectives, the elevation notification.
Yeah, that's cool. Huh?
That's real cool, isn't it? Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. That's job gauge details have been revised. What do you know? Here's something that's actually worth changing the topic with. Okay. The unlimited setting under frame rate limit in the display settings section has been replaced with maximum 90 FPS setting. How you feeling about that?
Not so great, and I don't really like his reasoning.
Okay, talk to me.
So, for those that don't know, Yoshi P's reasoning for doing this is he doesn't want people's GPUs and CPUs to melt.
There's also apparently some glitches that happen specifically when you go over certain FPS counts in the game. Certain like physics stop working as well. One in particular that I've been made privy to is a certain jiggle effect. But you can still bypass it with NVIDIA, so no one really cares. Anyway. So I don't care about this, but I know there's plenty of people who do.
Yeah.
I don't care. I just don't. It's not in my interest wheel. That's nothing wrong with that. If it's not in your interest wheel either, like if you're PS4, for example, or you just don't care, like me, then, you know, I don't care.
Yeah, how do you bypass it with NVIDIA?
Yeah, you can go through certain walls to get out of bounds if your FPS goes up to a certain amount.
Yeah.
Jiggle physics stop working correctly. There's a bunch of things that happen technically that I guess matter to people or to the developers in some cases, but I don't care. I can run the game. I've been able to run the game at 120 to 150 for years, and I still cap it at 60. I just don't care. And I have 144 hertz monitors to boot. So it just doesn't matter to me. It just doesn't. I don't know what else to say, and everyone acts like I'm a fucking devil for feeling that way.
I mean, if it doesn't affect you, I feel like maybe it's a temporary thing, you know, maybe once they work out whatever BS, they'll fix it, or I don't know.
The only time FPS has ever mattered to me, and someone brought it up in the chat, is the log jump for the A Realm Reborn sightseeing log. Yeah. And that was going the other way. You need to lower it to 30.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was fucking stupid.
Yes, it was.
Either way, the rest of this shit is all like additions have been made to like options and text menus for shit and stuff like that. Mac 64 exists and will now have the auto translate function. Congratulations, Mac 64-bit version. I'm so proud of you for finally figuring out how to take some text and turn it into other text. I didn't think the technology would ever be there, but you fucking found a way, man.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations.
My favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. No, what was yours? Go.
My favorite thing is the fact that there's a graphical glitch if Viera sit on a fat chocobo.
Everyone's going to try it immediately.
Yep. What is it? What happens? Do their legs like stick through the chocobo?
They become one. Well, luckily, a lot of people have these new BBCs that they can use their Vieras on, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be perfect. These chocobos from the Amazon thing will be perfect for testing this out. All right. I was going to keep going with the Max 64-bit thing, because now they can even... they can use the up and down arrows to go through old messages now.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's cool. I can do that to move up and down on the patch notes right now.
Oh, I think the Mac could do that. I'm not sure about the rest, but there you go.
Yippee.
Sly's in the chat. He just can't be in the show.
Hi, Slyh.
Slyh could have gone to sleep at this point. He's just
Dude.
he's sticking with us. He's sticking with us one way or the other. One way. Let's see. Did you know there's no issue about jumping, making your character face a different direction? No, I didn't know about any of this. Gunbreaker and Dancer have been added to the solo rankings for Palace of the Dead and Heaven on High. Too cool.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm going to just do it.
I like how the entire bottom half of known issues is Max 64-bit. An issue in Max 64-bit application wherein switching from full screen to windowed mode causes the areas of the screen outside of the game window to appear black. An issue wherein connecting a gamepad for the first time and restarting the game will render the mouse inoperable until a gamepad input is made. An issue wherein using any mouse drag inputs to adjust the resolution in the system configuration does not change the numeric value. You just so proud.
Yeah.
An issue wherein the Max 64-bit application wherein the first text character entered in Japanese text entry mode may appear in the user macro window instead of the chat window when direct chat is enabled and the user macro window is open. This may also occur when entering Kana while not currently in text entry mode.
That's very specific.
That's very specific. I'm glad that they know about it.
Yep.
This one's actually pretty interesting. An issue in fulfilling the conditions to activate the red mages Verflare or Verholy will cause Verthunder or Verstone icons to change, even if you're not a high enough level to use them.
Huh.
I wonder if it just changes the icon, or if you can actually. I'd imagine they're grayed out, but like blinking at the same time.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be in this like level 50 stuff, and you're gonna be like, all right, let me cast my next Ver. Never mind.
Yeah.
Can you click off Verflare Verholy? Like, is it a buff?
I think so.
All right.
Maybe. I want to say yes.
If not, it's gonna be an issue. Maybe.
Maybe.
Other than that, is there anything else in here that we need to talk about before we pass out?
An issue wherein equipping the Woots mask on a Makote or Hrothgar will cause the character model to be displayed incorrectly.
Well, everyone's got to go get a Woots mask then.
Yeah, all you Makote and Hrothgar get a Woots mask and just fuck your shit up, fam.
It's gonna be funny if it's just like your face
Deletes
is
your
like
hair.
upside down or some shit. Just like the mask isn't programmed right, so the mask is going on upside down, but it's taking your face and doing this at the same time, so your eyes are down here. And you're like,
That'd be really cool. Hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I don't think that's what's going to happen, but maybe.
No.
No, probably nothing even remotely as cool as that. Yeah, it'd be like that kid in Family Guy. Tom
Probably like
son.
no ears or no hair or something stupid like that.
Yeah. So, Slyh, what are your thoughts on this? He's in the chat. Technically, he can answer me. Solid input, Slyh. I agree.
Nice.
I agree. Yeah, no, he's there.
Yep.
He's just busy giving me the middle finger or figuring out how to type it. No, that's fine. Meh. There you go. That's perfect. He's the strong but silent type. There you go. Yeah, we get mad. Meh. Meh.
It's just a really long delay coming from the first.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's been called and everything. You know, some people were called for like, you know, time flows different there from here. So like it's going to take like a week for my message to get there and then he'll reply, but he'll have replied like he'll have already actually replied, because even though it's been a few weeks there, it has only been a few seconds here. So nothing I just said makes any sense.
Yeah.
Welcome to Time Fuckery. All right,
welcome to Shadowbringers.
Yes, welcome to Shadowbringers. Literally 12 hours from now, the servers will be live, barring any fucking disasters. And no, the update is still not available. Because that was the next thing. I went to check. I was like, it's been 12 hours now. Maybe the update will be available. It is not. I really hope it is at some point before, midnight-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe. But fingers crossed for anyone who has internet. I understand they're probably trying to keep that under wraps because of data mining, but holy shit, please. I just want to go to bed. So fucking hurry up, please. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? I'm sure there are other things we could find to talk about, but I don't know if there is.
But I want my Popeyes chicken, and I want to go to sleep.
Yo, I second that minus the Popeye chicken because I don't have any. So
that's too bad.
That's the only reason why. That's the minus there. All right. Well, with that, thanks everyone for joining us for this 2-man show.
Heck yeah, we did it.
Yeah, we did it. We did it, man. That's it.
High five.
Got it. Bam. Well, you got your hand on the sword, so I didn't know if the other one was free or not. Or maybe you're reaching for some ammo or something. Or maybe for a sack of nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, with that, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you? Thanks for joining us, by the way, Mary, because you agreed to this yesterday, and then I was like, hey, thanks, and you're like, oh, it's no worries, man. I'm gonna get
hell yeah. Chicken. I always like being here.
All right, if you say so. That's fine.
You can find me on the first, being a gunbreaker. Yeah, look at me. Wow, so cool. You can find me at very_Mary on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube. Basically, I'm around. You know where to find me.
Well, they do now because you just told them.
Yo, look at me. I'm a fucking gunbreaker. Isn't that so cool?
It's pretty cool. I like especially the shadow underneath your chin.
Yeah, Blast did this for me. You like I got the tattoo? I'm Thancred.
No, I got that part. Yeah, no, I definitely figured the part where you're Thancred out.
Yeah, he changed the skin tone on the neck and on the fingers and everything.
Well, this is coming from the same guy who made our request cat confetti request happen. I expect no less than brilliance.
It's good stuff.
All right. Well, normally I'd pass it over to Slyh at this point, but as you can tell, not particularly there. So
hey, Slyh, where can they find you at?
You could find him, Slyh, aka Greyfox, on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. He's going to be playing Shadowbringers. What do you know? All right. Thanks, Slyh. That was great. I appreciate that a lot. He got snapped. There you go. It's been long enough. And I'm the third, or in this case, second guy, Mr. Happy1227. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And I'll be hosting a 24/7 streamathon for the next week, starting at 1 a.m. Pacific tomorrow morning, an hour before the servers are supposed to come up. I will not be riding that solo. One of my moderators, Tequila Shots, is here and will be taking shifts ranging from like 7 to 8 hour shifts while I actually get some sleep. And so make sure that you follow him too. We'll have a command for following him. Make sure that it's aware that he's the one who's actually playing at the time. And we just hope for a smooth launch. That's really, really all that we can hope for at this
Hell
point.
Yeah.
They've taken a lot of precautions.
I'm feeling it. I think it's going to be a good one.
I mean, there's still a chance of a DDoS, which you can only do so much
about.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be the only thing that'll cause an issue, honestly.
Well, I mean, they're not going to have any early solo instances, which I think is a big deal.
Yeah. They got the auto purge from the get-go for AFKers.
For those who aren't smart enough, I guess is the better way to put it.
Well, no, the daily purge where everyone gets knocked off.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's from day one.
Yeah. Not the 30-minute one. Okay.
Yeah.
They also have a 30-minute one, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the other one? There is the multiple instances. There's the queuing for solo instances. The only concern I have at this point is trusts.
Pretty much.
And they said they'll fucking turn trusts off if they start causing issues right away. So they're ready to go. They're taking this shit seriously.
Yep.
So let's hope that that actually results in something that goes a good bit smoother than what we experienced a few years ago, because Raubon is not looking to make a return.
Yep. And I want to say this for what it's worth. It's probably not going to matter except for anyone who's here right now. But if you got to AFK for more than 30 minutes, just let yourself be booted. Don't. If you do the thing, you know the thing. If you do it, you add to the problem.
Wow, really good message there, Mary.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone completely agrees with what you just said right there.
Listen, if we all do it together, everything will be okay.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that's the case. I'm sure everyone will comply.
I gotta try. I gotta at least try.
I'm sure everyone would. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Please.
That might be the only important thing you said in the last minute.
Yeah.
To be fair, I won't even be able to do it because when I'm logging off, it'll be someone else logging in. So it won't even if after the first week, maybe. But yeah. Welcome to Q Extreme. Anyway, with that, it's time for us to go do literally a 1 or 2 minute post show, and then go take our final preparations before we head to sleep and come back live. Mary, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
As always. And hopefully everything goes well.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
You too.
We're going to go into a short post show, and then we will see you tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
Get some sleep. Get your food. Get everything ready. And it's time.
Get your water. Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated, bot. Remember, stay hydrated, bot. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then. Bye-bye.
See ya.